So I did a meditation retreat where it was like 45 minutes, like 4 or 5 times a day for 4 days straight. So
wait, sorry.
So you
45 minutes.
You're basically doing about 4 or 5 hours of meditating per day. Yeah. And I was like, this is going to be mental. And like, it's so weird what came from it. Because at first, like the first 10 minutes, you're like, this is jarring. People around me like ADHD mind going all over the gaff. But then eventually it's just, you're just allowing it. You're like, I'm here now. But it's like, and then it gets to a point where you're like, okay, yeah, you can just focus. Like what the monks would say is like, pick a neutral object, like either a flame or a leaf or like a bit of nature that's just neutral. It's not going to make you feel sad or good or bad or whatever. And yeah, like it's weird. Like after the first day, I started like me and my friend doing it. Like we're laughing. Like we just started getting these hysterical laughter. Not when we were doing the meditation, but like when we then like we're just chilling out. We're like, what's happening? This hysterical laughter. And then fast forward to after the meditation retreat, start doing mushrooms. We did a massive dose of mushrooms. The second we did them, that same laughter came out so strong, pissing ourselves, which then turned into tears, crying our eyes out, and then boom, we leave our bodies. We both get taken and shown our past lives. I don't know if this is a load of bollocks, and I don't know if the meditation was like sort of getting, and it made me think, do the monks just sit and meditate all day because they get closer to whatever was happening as a result of these mushrooms? But we get shown our whole like past lives, what we're doing to feed, like I say, like the devil or like the bad thoughts in your brain, like the caffeine. That's where I found out, like the caffeine that I'm having, the sugar that I'm having, the giving into, I mean, the sexual, like the sexualized brain that I had at the time, giving into all that stuff and what it was doing and what it was feeding. And it was like, oh my God, we got shown all of that. Then we got shown enlightenment. Don't know where it was, like where we're both from. And we were both communicating the whole time, me and my friend, in this, as we were being shown this stuff.
Not actually speaking to each other.
No, but just like telepathically in the place. We get obviously shown our past lives, shown how we'd actually met in a past life, and that's how we like felt like we already knew each other. And then shown enlightenment, and it's like the best place ever. I don't know if that's like heaven or what, I don't know, but it's like that's where we're all from. We're all from.
This sounds insane.
And then we both, it was like, this is the best feeling, let's stay here. But then we both had the thing of, no, we've come to Earth for a reason. And we came back to our bodies and we both landed at the same time, floods of tears, looking at each other like, that just happened. That just happened. And then he recited it all to me, I recited it all to him, and it was like...
That's what I was going to say. It was how did you know you had the same thing? Did you both just, I guess, recite it to each other?
And then it was literally... Yeah, we've written it all down. I've written like 5 pages, just like of all of it. And I go into way more, obviously, detail, but it is there. That's like the gist of it. And it's like, it's just a mushroom trip, just a mushroom trip. But it was like... He experienced it, I experienced it, and I don't know, was the laughter and the feeling that we were having overwhelming during the meditation retreat? It's almost like, did we then have that experience on the mushrooms because of all that meditating, and were we connecting to something bigger? And is that what meditating does? Like when you just stop and you stop stimulating your mind, are you connecting to some sort of higher power? I don't know.
Damn, that's fucking...
boys.
This is a good fucking story, man.
Yeah.
And Theo laughs at me. I haven't really had the chance to speak about it on waffling because those boys just piss themselves.
Nah, but they would never take... I can imagine Theo already with the spiritual stuff. Whereas I like this kind of stuff.
Mm.
So you see when you talk about like the enlightenment thing, that interests me the most because you said you don't know if everybody's like from there or maybe that's where you go to. Like you said, all these past lives, maybe that's where you go to. What did you think about? What did it look like? Like,
what was the brightest white light? Okay. It was the best feeling. And it was like, nothing was spoken to us, but it was like we received it like telepathically. It was like, this is the consciousness is that everyone is from. So the consciousness that you have and you and I have, we're all from there, but we're just in these vessels, and we've chosen these vessels to come to experience and go through what we're meant to.
I should have chosen a different vessel.
You chose here for a reason. That's because what it is that like the obstacles that we have, that everyone's like vaping away and drinking away and distracting themselves by doing, those obstacles is what you've come here to do and face. Just rather than run,
like overcome, or
that is literally the whole reason. That is what we were told. That is what it was mental. And
wow,
it was like part of me is like, oh, like, what? Is it just a mushroom trip? But then I'm like, it's just, I don't know.
Have you ever had something similar since?
What's your experience?
Well, I haven't done a mushroom trip.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Have you haven't had that? I wonder if it would be the same, or would you have something completely different?
What, the same experience?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had any, well, I've done mushrooms before, but I've never had anything like that. I'd had like the realizations, the like getting rid of all of like the built up like belief systems that I've almost convinced myself that was so limiting, almost like seeing like reality. I'm almost like complete clarity, but not being taken somewhere. Like we went somewhere else. It was like, we went somewhere else. And I don't know where the fuck we were taken, but it was almost like space, but not space. And I just remember getting back on bodies and going, mate, do not forget this. We went somewhere else. We can never, ever forget this. And it was like, wow.
Are you still in contact with that friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still
you know, Seb from Scotland.
Oh, okay.
What's that thing where they throw up in the jungle?
That's ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that.
You would do that, but you haven't done it.
No, I haven't. If you had, yeah.
I've heard that's like a level above that in terms of it's just like a real out of body experience, and that's really where you're shown everything.
Scary though, like the people that go and do that, and it changes the trajectory of their life. Sometimes for bad, sometimes for good.
No, but this is the thing. I feel like I was saying on Waffling about the awareness. I feel like that stuff. It's not that it like changes you for the best or the worst. It's like, no, you now have the awareness for what actually is. It's easy here to have like have this idea of who we are and like be comfortable with that. Like, I'm Joe, I like the colour red, I like football, and I'm easy with that. That's calm. But like, if there's actually like, I don't know, more going on that if you were aware to, could you actually be doing what was actually meant for you, or going in, you know, on a path that was actually bigger and where you're actually meant to be heading.
So did you, since then, do you feel like you either found out what was quote unquote meant for you, or do you feel like you've made changes to go down a different path after that? Or did you just kind of go, that was really cool, maybe that's the case, anyways, let me keep going with what I'm doing?
So definitely the stopping caffeine. Stopping wanking pornography. That's the biggest fuckery. Anyone watching this right now, if you're wondering why you're not motivated, uninspired, don't know what the fuck to do, you are wanking too much, or wanking at all whatsoever. That was the biggest thing. It was like that sexualized brain, bruv, that will ruin you. And I feel like because it obviously shoots your dopamine way beyond what you can naturally feel, and by real life things, even real life sex, that like you've tricked your brain into achieving what the chimpanzee part of it has come here to do, and that's just procreate. It's like you've achieved that. You've wanked like 4 times. You literally don't need to feel any. You know, you can't feel receptive to any other stuff. So it's like you
said in your when you did not November. He said it was like,
mate. So like since getting rid of that. Getting rid of caffeine, basically I don't stimulate my brain with any almost like toxic things. I feel like that's now where I'm, and don't get me wrong, actually saying that, I don't know if you've seen on Waffling how I've had like certain meltdowns and going a bit dodgy. That's where I've let that stuff come back into my life a little bit. And it's like now, it's almost like now that I know and I'm so aware of how bad that is, it's like almost it affects me even worse. And I just have to have cut it all out completely. And that since doing that, I'm now sure of what I want to do career-wise. I'm now like sure of who I am, like my confidence, my like ability to be kind and just like not be bitter. And I don't know, it's just, yeah, I'd say it has had positive changes.
Damn, you're like a fucking salesman, bro.
Yeah,
we're off to Thailand.
Bro, now I'm ready to cross my legs and just shut the fuck up for 10 minutes and be like, yeah, connected.
So, I want to try. How long did it, like 30 minutes of meditation?
Oh, okay.
Like if you would like try meditating, how long do I need to give it a go? Because you said you would do 45-minute stints.
Yeah, 30 minutes a day
is enough.
Yeah, but like, I mean, and I'd say once you get into a role, like 10 minutes every morning.
What's the process? So are you doing it with some music? Is it a guided meditation?
Yeah, I listen to it. There's a YouTube channel that does a guided one. But when we did it in the meditation retreat, it was just silence, like the nature.
Oh, that's nice.
What, like birds?
Yeah, I've got sirens going off.
Yeah,
I can hear people shooting up.
You got me in your ear.
Yeah, I can hear Chip a few doors down.
What do you feel about the idea of just being with yourself, with your own thoughts?
I've tried it before. I've done a bit of meditation before, and I always think to myself, I need to go back and do it because I remember it being really good for me. I really enjoyed it. I even bought this little meditation chair. It cost me 50 quid. It's so fucking shit.
What does it do?
It's just a little chair that's on the floor with a little back, and you just meant to sit on it with your legs crossed.
Okay.
I'll find this one. But that's when I was getting into it. But then I kind of faded away from it. It was during 75 Hard that I was doing it, and then I never got back into it. And every now and then I'm like, need to get back into that because that was a good time.
I've never done it, I've never been with my own thoughts, but
it takes a few goes. So he was right. For me, it took a few times before I even felt, is this worth continuing? I was like, I'm not getting anything the first few times. I was like, this is not really making sense. Am I doing something wrong? And then after a few more, you find yourself not getting better at it because there's no like...
I'm sure you do though.
Spectrum, but you feel... What you were saying where your thoughts are rushing through your brain when you're doing it, that's how I had. And then eventually it was a little bit calmer and it was like the thoughts would come and go just naturally. It wouldn't be holding on. It was really cool.
Damn. Maybe I should give it a go.
You should.
I'm into like manifesting and things like that. Where do you sit with that?
I don't know about this.
You don't know?
I don't know because I think like thinking that we know what's best for us is actually, I think, a bit of a misconception. I actually feel like,
interesting.
Brother, I'll be real. Like another thing that I've actually because I got really, really bad. Like this winter, as much as I did all that learning, like letting some bad habits come back in, I got really bad, and it got to a point where I was just like, I'm just going to surrender to God. I know I'm going there. I'm going there. I'm just going to be like, let me just surrender. Let me just give that a go because nothing. I didn't clock that. It's because I'm having the caffeine again, or I'm having the odd like wank here and there. Like I didn't realize it was that. It was like but I got so desperate that I was just like, all right, I don't know what's best for me. I don't have it figured out. Let me just surrender to whatever the bigger plan is for me. And you call it either God, your higher purpose, whatever it is, that higher power. Let me just surrender to whatever you have planned for me because I don't know.